and welcome to my channel. My name's Sarah and I am mummy to a 6-month-old baby boy called Dylan, who is with us today. Say hello. Say hello. Today I wanted to talk to you all about teething. So as Dylan's just turned 6 months old, he has started really teething. And I'm very new to all of this teething malarkey, as Dylan is my only little boy. I don't have any other babies. He is just the one, for now anyway. So I just thought I'd talk about my experience as a new mum and what I felt about teething, what products I used to help Dylan's teething symptoms. Let's jump into the video and get talking about it. So Dylan started teething, I think he started teething at about 2.5 months old. Things were moving, it was sort of irritating him a bit. I noticed that his saliva production was increasing from what it normally had been. And his cheeks between 2.5 months and 4 months started getting really flushed. Every now and again they'd get really red and flushed looking and quite sort of warmed, but he didn't have a temperature or anything, so I thought that must be something to do with teething. When Dylan hit about 4 months old, his cheeks just seemed permanently rosy, and his saliva production just went through the roof. When somebody said to me when I had Dylan as a newborn, you can never have too many bibs, I thought I'd already got a whole load of bibs. I had about like 15 bibs. I was like, I won't need any more.
Oh, did you drop that?
When somebody says you can't ever have enough bibs, did you drop that too? Okay, let me get it. When somebody says you can never have enough bibs, believe them, you really can't have enough bibs. I've just put Dylan into, you can see him behind, hey, just to give me a little bit of breathing space while I do this video. So if you hear like clattering noises and stuff, that's probably him in the background. And I apologise about the lighting, it's got really windy outside and I usually just have the window open. I do, don't I? You're right. I do. Yes. But it's got really windy. Long story short, I don't have a blackout blind, so I've just put tin foil on the window. I am that cool. Dylan started really teething at about 4 months old. His cheeks. What is wrong with me today? Dylan's cheeks got permanently rosy and his saliva production went through the roof. I had to buy a ton more dribble bibs and normal bibs just to combat the amount of saliva that he was just pushing out of his mouth. And there was just, it was like a waterfall, it was just loads. Along with that, Dylan's mood was really grumpy, agitated. I genuinely thought my baby hated me at one stage. I think it was for 2 solid weeks. He was just really angry with me. It actually got me down quite a lot because I didn't really know what was going on. Obviously, I didn't realise he was actually teething and one of the teeth was trying to break through. So I genuinely thought my baby hated me. And then when it came through, I was like, I am so sorry for ever doubting you, Dylan. I'm so sorry. It's 5 months and 1 week when Dylan cut his first tooth. Really explained a lot with his mood, and since then I have been prepared. It's amazing how quickly you learn what to do and how to combat symptoms of teething when your child starts to teeth. I just gave him a bit of this because it does say it does say, yeah, teething. It does say on the box you can use it for teething. I don't use Calpol that often for him, and I just thought because he's been so grumpy, and it explained a lot, and he was so angry. I wouldn't even call it grumpy, I'd say angry. He was angry. He was clearly in pain, and so I gave him some of this just to start off with. And then we whisked him off down to Boots and we got some teething granules. My friend had recommended teething granules before I had Dylan. She raved about it. She was like, you have to get them. They are the best thing. They really help. They come in these little sachets. Then all you do is you tear one off This little 4 in a pack, in like a little square. Tear one off, and then you just open it and pour it into your baby's mouth. It is as simple as that. I use the Nelson's teether. They were from Boots. You could just find them from Boots. Nothing special about them. They're not any like particular brand. I just picked up teether and he loves them, so that's the one I'm sticking with. Dylan takes these granules really well. There's no fighting at all to get him to take the granules and get them to dissolve in his mouth. In fact, now when I tear open the sachet and put it towards him, he'll just open his mouth and take it. No problems whatsoever. I've not tried them myself. Hey, what's up? Do you want to come back to mummy? So Dylan takes the granules really easily. There's no fighting at all. He will just take the granules, he'll let them dissolve, he'll have a little munch on them. They must be quite sweet. I've not tried the granules myself, I've not tasted them, but for him to take them so easily, I'm guessing they're probably quite a sweet flavour to them, or at least a non-offensive flavour anyway. And also, because we had started weaning Dylan at 5 months old, using a mixture of baby-led weaning and puree weaning, which if you want to see a video on how I was weaning Dylan, then please leave a comment below in the boxes. I'd be more than happy to do a video and my experience of first time weaning with a baby. Dylan was sort of starting to be on solid foods. I thought, actually, I better get him a toothbrush. When we were in Boots, we also got him his first toothbrush, so it's just the baby. This was actually really hard to find as well, so it's just the baby toothbrush here. And I also got the Oral-B Pro Expert Stages as well as the toothpaste, and I use such a tiny amount of this. This is going to last forever. And I actually keep it in the bathroom. Obviously with a baby you have to keep everything so immaculate and sterilised, but obviously you can't sterilise toothbrushes. You can't sterilise it, did say that on the pack. So to keep it clean and dust free and germ free as much as possible, I put his toothbrush and his toothpaste in just a Tupperware box. Just change that over every week, so it's just always kept fresh in there. But it's just sealed and it's just kept by the sink until he gets to an age where it doesn't matter if his toothbrush is just left out in the air. But for now, because he's still so young, I just take a little precaution. Not only that, is that I also bought some Bonjela. I actually can't find where I put the Bonjela at all, so but it is just a baby teething Bonjela. You can find it right next to the teething granules in Boots. It's all kept in the same area, so I think mine was the double action. Because he'd been so grumpy, I felt like I owed it to him in a way to get a Bonjela double action one. Are you gonna let me have Sophie back so I can show all the viewers? No? You're gonna let me take Sophie? Shouldn't I? Also, I just wanted to give a quick mention to some of the teething products that we've been using for him to chew. So one of them is his Peter Rabbit wooden ring. This is really easy for him to be able to grasp in his hands, and he loves chewing on the ears and on the hands. These probably have been chewed a bit more than the ears, but I think he quite likes the fabric to be able to munch down and gum on them. So, but he loves his Peter Rabbit, and because it's jingly, he's a big fan of anything that makes a noise. So that's been a huge winner for us. This is just obviously very popular with all mums and babies, generally speaking anyway, and I was a bit dubious about getting it because I wasn't sure whether Dylan would take to it and it was a load of hype, but actually it's not. It's brilliant. And that's Sophie the Giraffe. So Sophie the Giraffe comes in a lot of different styles. I found the ring, and because he was able to grasp his Peter Rabbit really well, and it wasn't much thicker than that, but it's a bigger circle, I thought this would be perfect. He's able to really easily hold Sophie in his hands, and he chews on all the like little knobbly bits like the ears and the little nose as well as the ring. You got Peter Rabbit! So yeah, and then he's obviously able to play with these colourful little rings that he can also chew on as well. There's lots of different textures on this one. So you've got like the knobbly bits around the side. There's a bit of a harder bit here. There's some knobbly bits, and then obviously on the rings there's little ribs and all sorts. So this has been a huge lifesaver. And then the last one that has been really good is the these newbie teething rings. This one has some keys on, looks like a bunch of keys because Dylan loves keys, although this one doesn't make a key noise like my actual car keys, but they're these sort of like water-filled gummy type teething rings. I thought he was sick then. You certainly put them in the fridge, put them at the back of the fridge overnight. What I do is I like to put these in a Ziploc bag so they stay clean, they don't get contaminated with any bacteria, because obviously he's going to be chewing them quite a lot. So they go in there, and then I take them out, and when he's teething quite badly, it's nice to have that he's got something cool to chomp on. So those are another big favourite of ours. When he's really bad, or I feel he's really bad, I'll give him a little dose of Calpol. If it's a strong teething day, but not too bad, then I will give a little rub of his gums with the Bonjela, and then I will follow up with about half an hour later. I'll then give him a sachet. He's just been sick all over me. Oh, Dylan! And we're back. Yes, carrying on. So Dylan's, if Dylan's having a really bad teething day, I go in with the Calpol. There's no messing about. Dylan's having a semi-bad day, like it's quite bad, but it's not really bad. I'll give him a dose of Bonjela double action teething gel, and then half an hour later I will then go in with the Nelson's teething powder granules. The granules are also say they are meant to combat signs like dribbling, flushed cheeks, as well as sore and tender gums. So in my experience from using these, I've been using these for a while now, in my experience, does it combat symptoms of dribbling? I'm not sure, but certainly the flushed cheeks, and I'm guessing the sore tender gums, because he's nowhere near as bad as he would normally be when he's using these. So yeah, and the flushed cheeks, they've gone down quite a bit, haven't they, since we started using this? Haven't they? Yeah. Dylan's bottom tooth came through, and then a week later, I thought I was going to have a break. Within 5 days, just under a week, his second bottom tooth came through. It's been about 5-6 days now, and he's been really bitey and grabby over the last 2 days. I've got a funny feeling we're going to be expecting another tooth come through within this next week. So I'm expecting it to be one of the top teeth. So yeah, if you want me to do, like I said before in the video, if you want me to do any videos on weaning, on my experience of what first foods I gave Dylan, how I went about weaning, what bottle I decided to cut out first, and what have you, then yeah, please let's leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this video. If you want me to do any other types of videos that you're interested in, I am more than happy to do any kind of video that you are looking for. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you join me, and yeah, look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.